sometimes you have a win. It's one of these times. Now the tricky part is trying to fit it all in and twist it, and yeah. Now this part's not going to be easy. Nothing good ever comes easy. Oh, that was tricky. Properly tricky. Right, so I've eliminated bracket plus another nut and bolt. So yeah, rib nut. So we've actually melted, well, you know, softened our plastic to make an angle, so the actual fin is the bracket, plus a upside down rib nut, which was accident, which has now made it better so it can't pull through. And yeah, that'll square it up. Obviously I need to recess all the others because this is the only one that's recessed at the moment. That's why it's a bit whoop. Alright, I thought I was onto something there, but obviously in plans you go, yeah, that's a great idea. Well, it's needs to be perfect for it to work. I mean, I'm just not happy it's got that little snag to it. I mean, a lot of people probably won't notice it, but so with the rib nuts being recessed, like firm, if that's out a little bit, well, that's obviously going to put that fin out. So what I'm going to do is pull the rib nuts out, and I'm just going to run nuts. And now that hole's big enough for some movement, that allows us to get that nice and straight and then tighten it up so they're nice and uniform. And yeah, what a shame. Anyway, but at least I still only have one bolt and not a bolt there and a bolt there. I didn't want one, I'd rather one on top, not on the sides, on the fins. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4 fins. So I've got to cut some more out there and do the same process except for without rib nuts. That way we've got some wiggle room. Fired her up. She hasn't been running a while. Been a little bit. Look how filthy it is. Right? Gonna need a massive clean again. So we have some good news and we have some bad news. No, we don't. We've only got bad news. So RaceX, that I do driver coaching, instructing for, they gave us some Dunlop slicks, which are 18s. I forgot they switched to 18 inch. The reason why I've got 18-inch rims is because I couldn't find the wheel that I liked in a 17, so I thought, well, just have to go an 18, but they were just cheap rims for now. It was sort of, the whole car was rushed. That's why I'm tearing this car down and building it properly this time. Like, you know, I was impatient, I wanted to get on the track, and yeah, there was a lot of things that I needed to do to make it handle better, go faster. So yeah, I was a little bit impatient, but now I had a taste for it, and you know, I want to go faster. So now we're doing all the aero, tires, suspension setup, ride height, the whole deal. So bad news is these slicks are way too big. Now, as you've seen in the last episode or two, we started doing the metal over fenders, the wide body metal over fenders. Right, all well and good. I cut a heap out, like you can see. I've still got to tidy up under here, but you can see how much I actually cut out. I cut out a lot, and I took the car off. Obviously the car was facing the other way, drove it out, went to drive it back in, and just by going over this, I actually scrubbed on it. So it's going to scrub on the track under high load, you know, G's. So they're just so big. It's a shame, but I'm going to give these back to RaceX because I pinched their best set, so they might go on their hot lap car. But yeah, so I'm going to we're still going to run slicks. I'm going to get slicks, but I'll have to fork out the moolah for them ones, unless someone wants to sponsor some. Hint, hint. But that's our bad news. We can't run these slicks that we got for free that I only done probably like a qualifying session on. So that sucks real bad. Well, there might be some good news. I've got the diffuser. The diffuser is pretty well made. I do have mix and match bolts holding it together for now, but the diffuser is what we're mounting today. So these ends, I made it wider, and I folded these over, and I was gonna have it a bit lower here, and then go to try and match them big fins, but I think it's too wide. I'm thinking about removing this off and just keeping, that'll be the outside, and that'll be the outside. I just think that's too much. My theory was, because of the way I've designed the fins, what air catches in here, then you're going to get some air that's going to hit this and then transfer over to there, but then there's going to be a lot of force over there as well, and pulling down. Going to need a lot more brackets. We are going to be mounting the diffuser off our subframe for our diff, so some rib nuts or something there to hold that. Might do a plate as well, do like a bigger plate, so it strengthens each side, because there's going to be a lot of downforce on that. I was going to use some steel, but a little bit heavy, plus flat bar is still going to be a bit wobbly, so got some 50B50 alloy angle, super light, and that's I'm going to put some rib nuts in this, and that way that's going to sit there. Got to measure the diffuser, everything, to get it all square first. Alright, so this is my laser I use for work, Spectra. Even my other lasers are Spectra. Pretty good bit of gear. Normally use this for concreting and construction and squaring up jobs and stuff on hills, because the laser points down hills. So it's been a while since I used it. I'm gonna unlock the gimbal. That way. Nope. There. That's the one we need. Alright, so I went from inside of rotor on the rear to inside of rotor there, which is 1375. Yes, I'm using a calculator. Divided by 2. It's funny when you're at school, like back when I was at school, and phones weren't really as clever as they are today, and we'd use calculators a lot, and the teachers would say, you know, you're not gonna carry around a calculator in your pocket. Well, miss, I am. So 1375 divided by 2 is 687 mil. 687.5. 687.5. 687.5 is center. So what we're going to do is then measure the front and do the same. Well, before we do that, I've got my clamp inside rotor, and then I went over to inside of that rotor. I had a previous little black mark where I thought center was, just like a roughie. So 6, 7, I forget. What was it? 6875. Just to say 687. 687. I turned all the lights off to set the mood. No, so I can see the laser better. So white mark. So that's our center. That's pretty center now, doesn't it? That was 1270. 1270 divided by 2 is 635. 635 mil. A tape measure. Oh, where's Andrew when you need him? He's short. Oh, hello. So, should use a black. What did I say? I can forget again. 670 was it? 635. I was wrong, it was 635. 600. Oh. It's actually that black mark. This here is to hold the front splitter, so I made that in one of the episodes, fuck it, ages ago. Anyway, now we can line the laser up with them marks. Yep, we're on that one, center. And we're pretty well smack bang center of that one. Give or take a couple mil, I always say. Alright, so we've got our center of our car. What I did was I just threw a straight edge on there. It had the same, because the car in the workshop, the slab slightly falls this way, so the car's not level. So I just put that straight edge there, then I put a square on that, and then just line that up. So just in case we need a center mark on our car a bit higher, we got one. Even though we did only need it down here, but at least we got one up there. We've got a center mark now on our subframe for the diff, and then also we've got a center mark up the front where our front splitter is. So for any reason, if we need to find center, bang, we've got our marks there. Hopefully they'll stay. Yeah, so these laser levels are the go for this sort of stuff, but obviously you'd want to get your car level if you're wanting to, you know, get some lines up top for anything, or like a rear wing or whatever you're doing. So obviously being like this, no good, but what we need is just to find center underneath, and that's what we've achieved. This here is going to mount up to these two rib nuts, just like, yeah, just like that. And then I've got rib nuts on this side. See how they sit proud though? I'm going to countersink the plastic, the ABS, so it doesn't sit proud like that. So once I drill the holes for the bolts to go through, I'll then countersink them a bit bigger, so then that rib nut sits, and then that'll sit flush on the ABS, and that'll help it stay nice and flat, you know. We have now got to angle our rib nuts on there. It is center with all our marks. Rib nuts with our open end angle box, I should say. So I've just made some identical aluminium brackets. This was my aluminium straight edge for a while. I was using the bloody, you know, long ruler type thing, but anyway, now they've got a bit of a twist because it's not flat here. So I've made them identical but opposite. So, and also I'm going to do 2 holes to stop any of this swinging. So there's going to be one through there, which is actually the mount for the bumper, and then there'll be 2 down here which will keep that stiff, and then 1 support up there, so it'll hopefully stop this sort of action going on. Yeah, one there and one there should be the same, and then there's a little bit of movement for adjustability. So it's definitely strengthened and straightened this out. Well, we've worked out that our slicks that we got from Racex, thanks to them guys, but unfortunately we are going to give them slicks back because they are too big. I thought I could make them work, but I just can't. So I'll have to get a price for some brand new slicks. Hopefully some of my sponsors or that can help out maybe, but we'll see. We do have to finish the diffuser, it's not finished. Got to seal it up a little bit, maybe cut these ends off that I'm not liking too much. A couple of bolts, clean it up, and that's done. I will have to finish the other side of the fenders, haven't done that yet. I'm going to finish that in the next couple of weeks, get that all done, and remove all the stickers, and pretty much start over. Try and get someone to help paint it, or I'm going to try and paint it myself. Again, I'm not a very good painter, but you'll do what you got to do. Also, I want to do a new stainless exhaust, twin 2.5 inch. Going to do the cam, double barrel springs. Finish the wing. I need some more argon, and we have to finish the rear wing as well. Door cards. Got to make some door cards. Don't have door cards. Water pump. I need a new electric water pump because the one I got has overheated too many times, and it's all warped with the flange. And the way it was designed is there's not enough bolts to keep that gasket sealed, so they're more on the outside, and it's warped, and obviously it's leaking. So don't buy cheap shit. Well, depends what it is. Some things you can buy cheap. Everyone's asking, when's your next race, when are you driving again? I have no idea. I just know that if I was to leave the car how it was, I wasn't going to enjoy myself Well, I would have, but I mean, when the helmet goes on, you want to go faster, and that's all I wanted to do. Was you get to a point and the tyres let me down, and you know, you don't have much traction and things like that. So that's what I'm doing now, and yeah, I don't have a deadline. We're just gonna do it as much as we can, and yeah, we'll do a big video at the end when it's all complete, and yeah, I can't wait. Thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one. Peace out.